All right, welcome back. So it looks like the crypto market is finally shaking off that holiday hangover, and wow, it is waking up with a bang. We have got a really promising price surge, a totally unexpected geopolitical shockwave, and a week that is just packed with economic data that could send things flying. Let's break it all down.
So, in this explainer, we're going to connect the dots between four really key things happening right now. We'll kick off with the bullish signs we're seeing in the crypto market, and then we're going to dive into how a major crisis in Venezuela could completely change the game. We'll also look at the economic numbers that could either pour fuel on this fire or, put it right out. And finally, we'll zoom in and see how innovation is still pushing forward, with a spotlight on the Clash project.
So let's just jump right in with the market itself. After a pretty quiet and low volume holiday season, it seriously looks like crypto is finally showing some real strength as we get into the new year.
Okay, so this number you're looking at right here, $91,200, this is a huge deal. For weeks, Bitcoin has been bumping its head against that $90,000 ceiling, that resistance level. The fact that it's now broken through and is actually holding steady above it, that could be a really strong sign that Bitcoin is building up some serious steam for a big move up.
So, why the sudden change in mood? Well, you know how it is at the end of the year. You've got all this selling pressure. Big funds are rebalancing their portfolios, and a lot of investors are doing what's called tax loss harvesting, basically selling off assets at a loss to lower their tax bill. But now, that's all behind us. It really feels like the market has found a solid floor and is getting ready to climb again.
And listen, this isn't just a Bitcoin story. Not at all. The good vibes are spreading across the whole crypto market. We're seeing heavy hitters like ETH and Solana making some really nice gains. Even the meme coins, Pepe, Sheeb, Doge, they're all showing signs of life. When you see a rally this broad, it suggests that investor confidence is coming back across the board.
So, things were looking pretty good, right? Nice and simple, charts are going up. But then, over the weekend, something completely out of left field happened. A major unexpected event that honestly could change everything. And that brings us to what we're calling the Venezuela variable. A sudden military strike has just thrown a massive wrench into the global machine. And now the markets are scrambling to figure out what it all means. Okay, so here's a quick play-by-play of what went down. The U.S. conducted military strikes in Venezuela, which led to the capture of President Nicolas Maduro. Now, get this. This was apparently done without congressional approval, and now the U.S. has announced that it plans to temporarily govern the country. This is a shocking, fast-moving situation, and it has the potential to inject some serious volatility into global markets, and that definitely includes crypto. So, the billion-dollar question is, why? Why this? Well, this quote right here, cited in the source material from Marco Rubio, might just give us our biggest clue. He says he expects U.S. oil companies will be interested in starting operations in Venezuela. That's pretty direct. And really, that just gets us straight to the point. At the end of the day, this seems to be about minerals and oil. It's no secret Venezuela has the largest proven oil reserves on the entire planet, not to mention tons of other mineral wealth. The source material we're looking at suggests that getting control of these resources has been a geopolitical goal for a long time, and is likely a key driver behind all this. Okay, so as if a massive geopolitical shockwave wasn't enough to keep us on our toes, we also have our regularly scheduled economic drama this week. So let's shift gears and look at the data that investors are going to be glued to. This week is all about jobs, jobs, jobs. We've got the ADP report dropping on Wednesday, jobless claims on Thursday, and then the main event, the official jobs report on Friday. These numbers are basically going to give the economy a health checkup, and everyone will be watching. So why does all this employment data matter so much? Well, it all comes back to the Federal Reserve, the FOMC, the people who decide interest rates. Right now, as you can see, the market is basically betting there's only a 17% chance of a rate cut in January. But, and this is a big but, if those jobs reports come in really weak, you could see those odds shift dramatically, and a higher chance of a rate cut would be a very bullish signal for assets like crypto. Okay, so we've been talking about the massive macro picture. Let's zoom all the way in for a minute and look at some of the cool innovation that just keeps happening in the crypto world, no matter how chaotic things get. For this last part, we're going to put a spotlight on a project called Clash. So in the middle of all this market madness, Clash has just been quietly chugging along, posting a 12% gain recently. But really, the price is just a reflection of the actual work they're doing behind the scenes on a brand new product they're about to roll out.
And that product is called Clash Pick'ems. Now, prediction markets are a really hot area in crypto, but let's be real, a lot of them can feel super complicated. Well, Clash wants to fix that. Their whole mission here is to be, in their words, the easiest prediction marketplace on the planet.
So what does easier actually mean in practice? This chart lays it out perfectly. On one side, you have platforms like Polymarket, which often use these binary yes or no questions, and figuring out the payouts can sometimes feel like you need a math degree. On the other side, you've got Clash Pick'ems. They use simple multiple choice categories, and right up front, they show you a clear estimated multiplier on what you could win. Super straightforward. It's really that simple. It's a 3-step process. You see a question, you pick the outcome you think is going to happen from a few different choices, and you instantly see what you stand to win. The whole idea is to make it intuitive and just remove all the friction that keeps a lot of people away from prediction markets. And that really brings us to the final question. So we have this really strong bullish setup in the crypto market. At the same time, we have a massive, totally unpredictable geopolitical event unfolding. And on top of all that, we have critical economic data that could completely change the Fed's game plan. So which of these incredibly powerful signals is going to matter the most? Honestly, we're just going to have to wait and see. Thanks for watching.